Hook your garage floor is covered in oil stains, tire marks, and that ugly grey concrete look, and you have been telling yourself you will deal with it someday. Someday is today, because in the next few minutes I'm going to show you exactly how the pros paint a garage floor so it looks like a showroom, and I'm also going to show you the one mistake that makes 90% of DIY garage floors peel within a year. Stick around, because that mistake is coming up, and if you skip it, you are wasting your money. CTA, before we get into it, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell, because I post real home improvement projects every week. No fluff, just what actually works. Now let's get your garage floor looking incredible. Why most garage floor paint jobs fail here is the truth nobody tells you at the hardware store. Concrete is porous, it is basically covered in a fine layer of dust, grease, and minerals called latents. If you skip proper prep and just roll paint on top, you are painting on top of dust. That is why so many garage floors peel, flake, and look patchy within months. The pros know this, and that is why prep takes up almost 70% of the entire project. What you will need for 2026, the material of choice for a true pro finish is a 2-part epoxy or polyaspartic coating, not the cheap 1-part paint in a can from the hardware store. You will also need a concrete etching solution or a diamond grinder, a shop vacuum, painter's tape, a long-handled roller with a phenolic core, a mixing drill attachment, and decorative color flakes if you want that speckled showroom look. Budget matters here. A quality kit for a 2-car garage runs between $150 and $400 depending on the brand and whether you add flakes. Step 1: clear and clean empty the garage completely. Sweep thoroughly, then degrease every oil stain with a concrete degreaser, scrubbing with a stiff brush. Rinse well and let it dry fully. This can take a full day depending on humidity. Step 2: repair the concrete. Check for cracks, pitting, or spalling. Fill any cracks with a concrete patch compound and let it cure according to the label. Skipping this step means every imperfection will show through your new coating and can become a failure point later. Step 3: profile the surface. This is the step almost every beginner skips, and it is the mistake I promised you earlier. Epoxy and polyaspartic coatings need a slightly rough surface to bite into, called a profile. If your garage floor is smooth or was ever sealed before, paint will not bond. It will simply sit on top and peel off in sheets within months. Pros either acid etch with a concrete etching solution or, even better, use a diamond grinder for a mechanical profile. Grinding gives a more consistent bite and is the method most professional floor coating companies actually use in 2026. After etching or grinding, rinse thoroughly and let the floor dry completely, usually overnight. Step 4: test for moisture. Tape a small square of plastic sheeting to the floor and leave it overnight. If you see condensation underneath in the morning, your slab has moisture coming up through it, and you will need a moisture-blocking primer or the coating will fail regardless of how well you prepped. Step 5: tape and mask. Tape off the base of walls, garage door tracks, and any fixtures. Pros take their time here because clean lines are what separate an amateur job from a professional finish. Step 6: apply the primer or base coat. Mix your 2-part product exactly to the ratio on the label, working in small batches so it does not kick off before you use it. Cut in the edges with a brush, then roll the base coat in manageable 3-foot by 3-foot sections, working backward toward the garage door so you do not paint yourself into a corner. Step 7: broadcast your flakes. If you want that professional mottled look you see in car dealerships and custom garages, this is the step that does it. While the base coat is still wet and tacky, toss decorative color flakes across the surface by hand, from waist height, in a random pattern. Do not overthink it. Randomness is what looks natural. Let it cure fully, usually 24 hours. Step 8: scrape and vacuum. Once cured, lightly scrape off any high spots from the flakes with a floor scraper, then vacuum the dust thoroughly. This step is what gives you that smooth, glass-like final texture instead of a bumpy surface. Step 9: apply the top coat. Roll on your clear top coat. This is what protects everything underneath from tire marks, chemicals, hot tire pickup, and UV yellowing. Polyaspartic top coats have become the pro standard because they cure fast, often letting you walk on the floor in 10 to 12 hours and drive on it in a few days, compared to a full week with older epoxy-only systems. Step 10: let it cure properly. This is where patience separates a pro result from a DIY disaster. Even if the surface feels dry, Full chemical cure can take several days. Rushing your car back in early is one of the most common reasons people see tire marks or dents in their brand new floor. Final thoughts: a garage floor coated the right way is not just about looks, it protects your concrete from cracking, staining, and moisture damage for years, and it genuinely adds value to your home. The difference between a floor that looks amazing for one season and one that looks incredible for a decade almost always comes down to that prep and profile step we talked about earlier. Do it right the first time and you will not be redoing this project in 2 years.